All right, welcome to the All American Hoops Podcast, episode 57, aka the Johan Santana episode. Yes, it's been 5 weeks since we've actually done the jersey numbers. I can blame that on myself for not holding myself accountable for implementing that, but I can also blame just the fact that nobody wants to wear 53 through 50 through 56, which I really don't blame them for that. They're not really 55 is a good number, but yeah, the other ones are pretty ugly. But as per usual, I'm joined by my younger brother Matt Driscoll.
I can also take the blame for the jersey number scenario as I hosted. Was that last week I hosted, or was that 2 weeks ago?
The week before. Yeah, we did the
draft. It was episode 55.
Yeah.
I could have said it was your fifth grade mid-Monmouth, your fifth grade travel number.
Was that it?
Yeah, it was.
it was that. Yeah, it was
opportunity.
I was that. I was 37 and 7th. It was either 7th or 8th grade. It was that. But then I was 24 and I think or no, not I think. I was 24 in eighth grade school. I'm pretty sure that I was 20. Then I was 24 freshman sophomore year as well, and then junior year I was 30. Geez, like look at my, like whenever I get something in my head, it's so 8th grade and freshman year was 24, and then sophomore and junior year was 32. That's what it was. All right. Yeah, yeah. So that's what for no reason whatsoever. So anyway, as you can see, I am in a different room. I have been in this room before. I think it was one podcast that I did, or two podcasts. I think I did this and did it in John's room. As you know, that John is in the city now. He came home last weekend and he'll be home again soon. But
you're muted, Chris.
Yeah, I moved the mic just a little bit there. So I'm gonna plug that back in 1 second. But I'm hoping that once I buy the new laptop, it's gonna turn the Wi-Fi issues into not much of a problem anymore. But we shall see. And I will say one thing, Matt, before we get started. I told you the other day that my students found my TikTok account. So if you see any trolls spam commenting, make sure you don't say anything smart to them. Make sure you just let it slide, and I'll take care of the burden there. Just wanted to give you a heads up there. 7th and 8th graders being 7th and 8th graders. But we'll see what that happens. I don't think happens. Yeah, that might have happened if there was 8 o'clock. Which, speaking of which, like another thing, we did it an hour earlier today because Fluent and she'll have to go at 8 o'clock. So that's the reason. But yeah, next week we'll be going back to the 8 o'clock regular time. Cool. So we got a full slate of this is like the first time in weeks, I want to say, probably like since before the Juan Soto signing, even before that we're doing a full basketball episode, because this is what the show is supposed to be about. It's supposed to be All American Hoops. Not that we love diversifying the game as well, but so obviously with I said last week we were kind of in the dog days of the basketball season, because we really are. Like it's kind of like right before the All-Star break. Not really much to be excited about, which is why they implemented the NBA Cup. And I don't know like how I feel about the NBA Cup, because like last year it was like just around this time, like it was like a couple of days after. I think it was like 2-3 days after the NBA Cup, or at the time it was just called the in-season tournaments. I kind of gave my opinion that the NBA did a really good job with it, and that they got the players to buy in and everything. And this year, I feel like the players cared, and there were some really good games, but it just didn't give me that. And maybe this is on me for not being too locked in, but I didn't get the same vibes as I did last year. Like it just, it's hard to explain, but I don't know what your thoughts are on the situation are.
So I have a couple things to say about the in-season tournament. Obviously, we'll touch on the Bucks. First of all, not basketball related. I wanted to shout out Papalello. Happy birthday to him. Big Giannis fan. So before I forget. I don't know that. But I do agree that it wasn't kind of the same vibe. I think last year was kind of new and exciting. So like, I think there was more kind of excitement, I for lack of a better term, from the players. I think the players still cared. Like obviously, they still want to win, even if it, it's just a regular season game, but, it adds a little more. I think the people that hate on the in-season tournament are just kind of hating to hate. I do have a couple of problems with it, and it's all having to do with the schedule. Am I echoing, by the way? Sorry, I thought I heard. Okay.
No.
Why were there no games yesterday? That just makes no sense. Give the Thunder and the Bucks off. You could have given them off today too. I think the Thunder and Bucks are both playing tonight, which is,
I think so.
which isn't crazy, but like if you're gonna give the whole league off, like I don't understand that. And I don't like how there was a lot of days where there was just one NBA game on, especially because, if you don't have League Pass and it's not on national TV, you can't watch it. So that's really, I think as the years go on, they'll figure it out more with the scheduling. But I think, you should mix it up a little bit more, maybe extend the tournament for a longer period of time, not more games, just extend it for longer so you could figure out the schedule. But that's really it. I think it's cool. I like, the fun jerseys, the fun courts. But again, I don't think the players think it means anything else but the regular season. I think they care like a little bit, but I don't know how to make fans care about it more, and I really have no idea how to make the players care about it more.
Yeah, it's just one of those things that can you hear me? Yeah, can you hear me, by the way?
Yeah.
I just replugged in my mic, which I don't know if that's working because my damn headphones aren't working either. But it's even when I change the room and the Wi-Fi is going well, like something's going to go wrong. It's really annoying. So yeah, I agree with all that. And like when it first came out, I said like this is just really dumb. Like no one actually cares. And like yeah, they care. They care to an extent, but like yeah, they're not gonna. Someone dropped a comment that said like if KD's calf is feeling sore the day of the in-season tournament championship, he's not going to play through it. It's like one of those things, and you can't really blame them for that because and I feel like a lot of this conversation is going to kind of mix into the new All-Star format, which we're going to talk about towards the end of the episode. So we'll do that later, but. Like I feel like a lot of those are intertwined, which is like people don't try hard in the regular season per se, and they really don't try hard in the All-Star game, and a lot of them do have the same reasons. So just that's my takeaway there. So that's the in-season tournament. That's the NBA Cup as a whole. But yeah, before we dive into like the specifics of it, joining us now is our older brother John Driscoll. John, thanks for coming on. And yeah, we know you got a busy schedule, so yeah, we're very thankful you're able to make it. You're able to make it tonight.
Guys, thanks for having me on, and apologies for being late. I worked a little bit later today, and then I went and signed up for a gym membership.
Whoa!
I found one in Manhattan that wasn't, about $9,000 a month. So it's nice. It's it's a small gym. It's got a pool. Pretty cool. So yeah, I'm pretty excited about it. But yeah, excited to talk some hoops. Maybe I heard you guys talking about the NBA Cup. Great points. I'm glad you guys are talking about it because I did not watch. Even though, I mean, honestly, thinking about it now, as much as I dislike the Bucks, Bucks Thunder is a great Cup final. It's a lot of talent across the board. There's a lot of great basketball being played. But that's all I'm going to offer because I don't really feel right talking about something I didn't witness.
That's okay.
Dive into it deeper, I just want to point out how hilarious it is that Darvin Ham is 14-0 in the NBA Cup. So I think that's awesome.
But before me and Mac dive into the specifics of the game, I just wanted to talk about how like we talked about like how like it doesn't really mean much and everything. It just I understand that like we have a love-hate relationship with him because like he hates all of our favorite teams, and he also just and he's also an hilarious guy, but like I still feel like he actually doesn't know ball. Nick writes, he's like he knows like the history of the game and everything, but he does not know he does not know certain things. Like he thinks the NBA Cup is like going to be seen as like an important thing now. Again, it has to be on a person's legacy because LeBron and Giannis won it. It's one of those things, in my opinion, that's just like a causation doesn't equal correlation thing. Keep in mind the Lakers stunk last year, and they lost in 5 games in the first round. And the Bucks are severely underachieving, even though they've been playing much better as of late. Which we'll dive into that right now, actually. But I just like we were literally like very close from the Rockets like making it to the championship game, and then what would have happened if either Alperen Şengün or Tari Eason ended up winning the MVP? It really doesn't mean much to me, and I don't think it will ever mean much because at the end of the day, what matters most is rings. So obviously the Bucks ended up coming out on top. It was a good game, but like it wasn't like down to the wire. It wasn't necessarily like blowout from the beginning. But you got Shea and Giannis, who in my opinion are both 2 top 5 players, without a doubt 2 tops. I'm gonna say definitely 2 top 5 players because then if you put Shea outside the top 5, I think that's yeah, I'll start questioning you on certain things. But yeah, definitely 2 top 5 players. And yeah, Shea didn't play great in the elimination game. But at the yeah, at the at the end of the day, I left this game still thinking that the Thunder are going to be the biggest threat to the Celtics, and if they make the finals, I do think that they're the favorites to win the West. I don't know many. I really don't know a team that could beat them honestly in a 7-game series. We talked about, like, I know that you two talked about this a little bit when I was out 2 weeks ago, but I just don't like if I'm just going through the teams in my head. I feel like the only 2 teams that could like put up the best fight against them is the Grizzlies, because they're just so just like the way they're constructed with how great they are on defense and everything. But that being said, they don't really have a great primary scorer outside of Ja. If you want to call Bane is a great scorer too, but like he's far from guaranteed to be fully healthy and like have a game in the playoffs. And I guess the other team, and I'm someone who crapped on them all offseason long, and I still don't believe in their ceiling. The Mavericks are the other team that I think could beat them, because they beat them last year. And at the end of the day, yeah, we hate him on a ton, but like Luka Doncic does have the ability to elevate his game in the playoffs, to carry a team to at the very least the Western Conference Finals, and obviously as a better supporting cast than I thought. So, Matt, what are your thoughts on the Thunder?
So, I totally agree that I think the Thunder are clearly the best team in the West, from top to bottom. They have, I think, the best starting 5 in the West, and they have a very, very deep bench too. And we're forgetting Chet's hurt. And in this game, I think it's totally an anomaly. They made 5 threes. They shot, 5 of 32 from 3. Like, this is going to happen. It's a long season. I mean, now they play an extra game. They're going to play 83 regular season games, and hopefully, for their sake, at least 16 playoff games. And that's, these games are going to happen. They just had like a stinker. I think they scored 81 points. Yeah, they scored 81 points. I don't know if that's the lowest or when the last time they scored less than 80 points in a game is, but I'm assuming it was maybe before last year. But yeah, I'm a huge Thunder believer. I think that's, not a crazy take or not like a hot take at all, that they're the best team in the West. I think the biggest threat to them are the Mavericks, Chris, you said. Like, we did, they do have these flaws that we point out. The perimeter defense is scary, blah, blah, blah. But I don't know, results are results. They made the finals last year, and, they're having a good year this year. I also think the Rockets are a threat to them. I think they play the Thunder very well. They match up pretty well against them. They're just like an annoying team to play against. They kind of are like the Magic in a way, with their just like play defense. They're always up in your face. But like you said, the Rockets really don't have, or you said this about the Grizzlies, but even more so with the fact the Rockets don't have that guy that can take over a game. And, they have good players, but they don't have like an elite guy. And I think you do need that to A, make the finals, and obviously B, win the finals.
Absolutely. It'll be interesting to say the least, because usually it takes like a couple years in order to get that team over the top. Like it's like with the Nuggets, where they were like a top 3 seed, and then they fell down, and then they finally went over the top. Celtics were Eastern Conference Finals before winning the finals. Even if we go back, the Warriors kind of appeared out of nowhere in 2015, but and even like the trying to go through each team. Oh, the Bucks. It was first round exit, second round exit. Like keep on making. The Thunder were out of the playoffs for many years and years and years. I guess it wasn't that many years actually, but a couple years. Then just all of a sudden like jumped from like the 11th to the first seed, and then lost in the second round. Yeah, like this year they're ready to take that step. The Rockets would be interesting though. It would be an interesting matchup. So up next, we will talk about the team that everyone in the Deuce Stadium chat loves to call my Milwaukee Bucks, even though I hate the Milwaukee Bucks. But yeah, obviously the NBA Cup winners. Very interesting team to say the least. They started off 2-9, and they've been pretty great ever since. They're top 10 in net rating and able to climb up to the 5 seed, which is I thought they were close to the they're a game and a half behind the Knicks at the 3 seed. So, I don't know what their ceiling is, honestly. They can obviously win a playoff series. Can they win 2? I'm gonna say, Yeah, I'm gonna say yes, but John, I know that Matt's about to explode now, but I am gonna let you talk because he's like, yeah, I want Matt to wait a little bit for this one actually.
Yeah, I think it's been pretty well documented that I'm a very, very big Giannis Dame Milwaukee Bucks hater. I wear it on my chest, but I think they've been playing good basketball recently. You can't deny that. They've been playing really well, and I think you are seeing the impact or the result of your two superstars carrying the weight. Your two superstars playing with superstars, and Giannis. If you want to call Giannis a superstar because he's playing, arguably probably would be my number one MVP pick right now, just given what he's been doing over the past 10, 12 games, however you want to cap it at. But I think that being said, like you look at the Eastern Conference, you say, okay, the Milwaukee Bucks are a top 5 seed probably, right? They're going to finish in the top 5, barring any injuries or any, mishaps. But like they're very comfortably 5 for me. I have Cleveland, I have Orlando, I have Boston and New York, all above the Milwaukee Bucks. And I think it's because of their lack of depth. It's really hard to criticize Dame and Giannis. It's not that hard for us, but it's hard to kind of put a lot on them because they're so talented. They're putting up the numbers. But you saw last year, Giannis goes down, it all rests on Dame, and it's like he's in Portland again. They're one injury or one tweak away to one of those two guys, or even one of their their role players. They're one small, slight issue away from spiraling and being a first-round exit again. And we know Giannis loves those. Had to get that in after all that compliments towards Giannis. So that's what I think about the Bucks. I think that at their peak, they are a top 5 seed, and that's what they are.
Yeah, I thought I was going to have the crazy take with Giannis as my MVP on the pod, but John just stole that from me. DraftKings has him at plus 600 right now. They have Jokic, Shea, and all right, is he third actually right now? Let me check. Plus 500 right now. They have Jokic and SGA over him. I don't know if I would put SGA over him yet.
The NBA doesn't have voter fatigue for the white man, right?
Well, no, you know what happened is that Perk turned it into a race war like in 2023, and then Joel Embiid pissed himself in the finals. So the media's like, okay, f this guy. We're just going to vote for the best player now, and not for the guy that cries every single time.
But to be fair, I mean, you want to say voter fatigue, whatnot. The Nuggets have not been impressive, and I know Jokic has been unbelievable, but like the standard of MVP changes all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Jokic's putting up these crazy stats. I know we're kind of derailing a little bit here, but Jokic's putting up all these crazy stats and winning 2 years ago. Yeah, obviously MVP. That's how it goes. But like now, it's like, okay, is this Russell Westbrook on the Thunder again? It's just one of those things. Like, what's the seed, or like how much winning do you have to do to prove that these aren't just empty stats?
Yeah, and I'm a huge Jokic guy, and he's putting one of the best offensive seasons, if not the greatest offensive season I've ever seen. But he does have flaws in his game. I mean, Giannis, he's not a good 3-point shooter, but he stopped taking them. Like if there's a flaw in your offensive game, you can just, kind of stop doing it. And I'm not saying Giannis is better than Jokic. I do think Jokic is the best player in the world, but maybe this season, I think that Giannis should totally, totally, totally have a huge part in the MVP conversation, if not being one, because he's doing it on both ends. Jokic is, kind of getting picked on. It's not like he's just not that good of a defender. He's a below average defender. And just as a whole, Chris, they have been playing well, your Bucks. And I think a big reason of that is because of their 3-point shooting. At the beginning of the year, they really didn't shoot the 3 well. And I just pulled up their team stats. They have AJ Green shooting 48% on 5 attempts a game. Taurean Prince is shooting 52% on 4 attempts a game. Dame shooting 37 on 9 attempts a game. And Giannis, let me see, where is Giannis? He's taking 0.7 a game. So he just stopped taking them completely. And when he's driving more, because he didn't take a lot, but he would take like 2 or 3 a game. He's taking 0.7 now. So now he's driving more. He's relying on the mid-range more, which I guess he worked on a lot in the offseason because it's been very, very good. And with all this, Chris Middleton is only shooting 25% from 3. And I think he's a pretty decent 3-point shooter. I don't know what his career numbers are, but I'm assuming it's like mid to high 30s. So that number is just going to go up too. All this being said, the Bucks' flaws are still very, very prevalent and not that fixable. John mentioned the depth, and the perimeter defense still stinks. I am not sold on the perimeter defense. AJ Green is AJ Griffin is, he's a better defender than I thought, but he's not like you can't be like the best perimeter defender on the team. Sorry, I said AJ Griffin. AJ Green. I always do that. The guy that just retired to become a priest. AJ Green. Gary Trent Jr., they tried to make a point of attack defender. He stinks at defense. Dame stinks at perimeter defense. There's just a lot of holes in this team. I do think that they're either a first or second round exit. I don't think that's a crazy take, but I think there's a higher chance that they lose in the first round than win 2 rounds.
I can get more to that because they're not better than the Celtics, and I think that the Cavs are closer to the Celtics than they are to the Knicks of the 3rd seed, in my opinion. I've always had a lower opinion on the Knicks than you guys, and as much as I love the Magic, I just feel like they're not there yet. That's as much. Like maybe just because we haven't seen Paolo play in a little bit, we haven't seen them at full strength, but they've been extremely impressive without him. But even then, I don't know how much the addition of Paolo was going to improve them. Like Paolo's potential is, I think he's going to be a top 5 player in the game one day. But him now, I don't know how much he improves this team. Even though he was playing awesome in the beginning of the year, they've proven to be pretty great without him. So if we're talking ceilings, I think the Bucks have the 3rd highest ceiling because they have that superstar in their team, and even Dame being the 2nd best player. I would say Dame's better than whoever the Cavs 2nd best player is. Who's their 2nd best player? He's better than Garland. Cat's better than Cat's been better in the regular season than Dame, but come playoff time, I'd rather Dame than Cat. And then and then Dame's better than Franz Wagner as well, in my opinion. But like you said, their margin for error is a lot smaller than the other ones. And that's the issue. So if you want to say they're going to lose in the first round, I have zero issue with it. But I do think that if they started off if they continue this trend and they end up as like the 3 or the 4 seed, I would take them probably to win a playoff series, but then lose to either the Celtics or the Cavs, in my opinion.
Well, it comes down to who they pull, right? I mean, if they go out and they pull the Bulls, my Bulls, by the way, they're in they're a playoff seed right now, 9 seed. No, I'm just kidding. But like if they pull the Bulls or the Pistons, or like the bum Miami Heat, then like I take them over them. But like let's say they get unlucky. I know the Pacers have been like very underwhelming this year, but like who knows, But if they say they're a 5 seed and they pull the Magic, I'm probably taking the Magic over them.
That's like if the Bucks play the Heat, I'm probably going to take the Heat. Actually,
that's if Jimmy Butler's still on the team. They might trade him.
True. Yeah, true. How awesome would it be if the Heat traded Jimmy Butler and then the Bucks match up with the Heat in the playoffs and the Heat beat the Bucks anyway? It would destroy any type of Jimmy Butler carrying the Heat momentum. It would all be Eric Spoelstra and Bam Adebayo. So all right. No, we got to move to the next segment. But so the next segment has been a very annoying conversation on Twitter, and one that one I think is a pretty important conversation because it's just come up. It comes up every year, and it's about the NBA ratings. And so obviously ratings have been down for a little bit, and there's a million reasons for them. I listed off all of them on our agenda, but I don't want to give my opinion on I don't want to give my opinion on it yet. I want to listen to what you guys have to say first. But Matt, what's your take on the whole discussion regarding the NBA ratings?
Well, obviously they're down a lot. We just talked about the NBA Cup. It was in Las Vegas on a Tuesday. Why wasn't it in Oklahoma City or in Milwaukee on a Friday or Saturday night? I feel like that then the playoff environment would have been more like a playoff environment than it was in Vegas. Also, there's a lot of I feel like there's a lot of reasons that the ratings are down. Like it's NBA League Pass costs a couple hundred bucks a year to watch just your favorite team. And if you're in the area of your favorite team, you can't watch it on League Pass. If the game's on national TV, you can't watch it on League Pass either. You had on the agenda a couple things like illegal streams. I think illegal streams play a part in it, but I feel like they've been around for a while that it's not a huge deciding factor. But I don't know. Like, I think it's just like it's kind of hard to watch these games. Like, not like sitting down, it's like I can't watch this. Like, it's tough to like get the game on the TV. It's kind of ridiculous. I think the too many threes argument, I'm sure one of you guys were going to touch on this, is not, that's ridiculous.
Nope.
Watching the NBA today is way, in my opinion, it's a way better brand of basketball than watching the early 2000s basketball that people love talking about now. Early 2000s basketball kind of like watching it kind of stinks. I see like clips of it on Twitter. I forget what the field goal percentage was. It is significantly lower than it is now. The pace is way slower. It's a bunch of like back to the basket post ups. Why is that super nostalgic? Like, why is that like, oh, this is way better? The spacing's worse. I don't know. I think it's just simply because of how difficult it is to watch these games. And the games kind of take a while now, too, with fouling at the end of games and stuff like that.
The reason why the NBA has a ratings problem is because Adam Silver and the NBA can't get out of their own way. It's not because of the product. You know, like 3 points are exciting. Steph Curry changed the NBA and people think he's awesome. You know, people want to like crap on the whole 3-point thing because the Celtics do it now and they're like really good at it. It's not the product. They've been more talented than ever before. I forget you said it the other day, you know, and I'm kind of going off of your point here a little bit, Matt, with, you know, early 2000s basketball, it was a worse product, but one part about it that I liked and thought was cool was the hand checking thing. You know, like defense, hard, aggressive defense. People want to watch that. And I think if you bring that back now with players now who are arguably more talented and can do more things, if you combine that with aggressive defense, I think you get a more exciting product. But that aside, I don't think the product is the issue. I think it's what you touched on before. Adam Silver, his big thing, the NBA's big thing is this NBA League Pass. We all have it. We all have 3 individual accounts because it's a fucking mess to try to get on the same account. If you have 2 people, you pay $100 and you can't have 2 people watching something, you know, and I have to plug, I bought a new TV. I have to plug in my laptop because your app sucks. If you get the app on the TV, it's all spotty. I have a brand new TV and it sucks. You know, the NBA product sucks. Everything else is smooth. Everything else looks great. I turn on Red Zone. It's beautiful. You know, we haven't gotten a chance to watch baseball on it yet, but I'm sure it's fine. I'm sure the SNY app kicks its ass, and SNY sucks. Yeah. You know, the problem is that you make it impossible to watch these games. The product is not the issue. If you are a basketball fan and you have the ability to watch a game, a competitive game, then you love the product. The NBA has never been more talented. It's fun to watch a game. The games are a little long, sure. But if you are an NBA fan, you know why you are, because it's a great product to watch. Don't put like your negligence, you're a $1 billion organization. Don't put like your negligence on, you know, the fact that you can't crank out a better like streaming or a better like option, because guess what? Like everything's expensive now. Like people living on their own, you know, families who have kids who are like living paycheck to paycheck, they pay for cable. Cable's like, depending on where you live, cable's like $150. And then you're going to throw another $100 on top of that for League Pass that doesn't even work half the time, you know? And then you mentioned the blackouts. It's just a really, really bad process. And that's why the ratings are down, because people are going to go to these illegal streams because they're cheaper. And guess what? They work just as good, if not better, than your shitty app. And that's why the ratings are down.
Yeah, Chris, before you speak, sorry, John, hell of a rant. 2, you do have a great TV. And 3, great point about hand checking. I didn't bring that up. Let's start playing defense. Let's defend. Yeah. Like, stop calling these ticky-tack fouls.
I'm all for that.
Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, Chris. Go ahead.
No, all good. And I'm happy that you said the last thing in the end. Stop calling these ticky-tack fouls, because I've been on this rant before. I'm not going to top John's rant, but I've been on this rant before too, where people say they don't like they watch college basketball over the NBA because they don't play defense. It drives me up a goddamn wall when people say, "Oh, they're lazy, they don't play defense." No, the NBA players are simply better at scoring the basketball than college basketball players. I don't watch enough college basketball, but the whole argument saying like they let the players play in college. I don't think that I find that very hard to believe, because if anything, I feel like refs would be more willing to call fouls in college, like so they can get promoted to the NBA. But again, I'm just totally talking out of my ass there, so I don't really know about that. But totally different side rant there. All those things are true, but between definitely think league packs being too expensive is the biggest thing. But if we're talking simply just cable ratings as to why, I think those are lower as well. I definitely agree that too many threes is not a problem at all. I see Colin Cowherd wants to get rid of the corner three, which is bananas. Like the corner three is like one of the coolest things ever. Like when a player gives like an awesome pass off to the corner, you're just totally cutting off the basketball court. Like that's got to be the
most efficient 3-point shot in the league. It's the most efficient 3-point shot.
Yeah.
Has he ever had a good take, Colin Cowherd?
Nope.
His takes are brutal. It makes me want to pull my hair out every time I see one of his videos.
Yeah.
I can't watch him.
And then Nick Wright saying that he wants dunks to turn into threes. Like, what are we doing here? But as I mentioned, the only positive thing coming out of that is that Rudy Gobert would become a top 20 player if dunks did turn into threes, because he would be the guy having to prevent all the 3-pointers. But then again, he would have to play. They'd be relying on to play a lot more offense, catching the ball and everything, which he's not good at. So that I guess that kind of contradicts my point there.
Are you saying Rudy Gobert isn't already a top 20 player in the league?
I think I had him in 28 beginning of the year, but yeah, that was probably a little too high. But which, speaking of which, Matt, actually, as like a reward for my kids today, they're all for my kids today, like an award system for them is actually saying that I'll show them the picture of me with holding my Rudy Gobert jersey. So I'm going to show it to them tomorrow, actually. So
nice.
Yeah. So there's that. We touched on fouling at the end of the games. I mentioned load management. That's becoming less of an issue, I feel like. I do feel like the 65 game rule really did incentivize them, which people are going to use Joel Embiid and Kawhi Leonard as a talking point as to why that's a bad idea, but they've always been injured. This award didn't incentivize anything, but I guess the only one you could really say hurt him a ton was Tyrese Halliburton. But even then, the great basketball that he was playing was never going to be sustainable, in my opinion. He had like a 67% true shooting, so he was a great player. He was never going to be that great though. Actually, I thought we were going to have to rush through this, but we actually have a ton of time. But as long as you guys don't have anything else to say about the ratings, because I think we touched on everything. Some people are going to blame the politics of it, but I kind of feel like the NBA kind of went away with politics in 2020. Like after 2020, they saw how much of a disaster it was. And I know like they denied to this day, like, oh, we didn't lose any ratings because of that. You did, and the NBA is still political, as it should be. You got to have your players speak out and everything, but
I was going to touch on the politics point, and I agree with you that I don't think that that's what the issue is now.
No.
And to your point about how in 2020 it did get like a little political, I think we should just like chalk 2020 up as just like a throwaway year. Like anything you did in that year is just like, it's okay. It was a little weird. We were all home all the time.
Yep.
We got to move on. We can move on from that.
Yeah, I avoid politics on the show. A because like it's a basketball show, and B because I am a teacher, and like if my students ever see me, I don't want them to know who I voted for and everything. But like mixed politics in sports at all. Like, and I'll say this about Nick Bosa too. Again, I'll say this about LeBron. Like I'll say it on both sides of the aisle. Whenever you do that with sports, you're free to say what you want. The ratings are going to go down though if you do it just a little bit. Like they haven't done a lot lately, but so like that's why I'm saying it's not an issue now, but it was an issue at the time. So like, but like whoever, whatever you want to say there. So yeah, we'll move on from the ratings. Now we're going to go into the new All-Star formats, which Adam Silver is. We mentioned Adam Silver. He is committed to solving every single problem in the NBA that is either not a problem or just coming up with the coming up with a solution that is so short term because obviously Matt and I complained about it. I think it was episode 9 or 10 actually, that where like it was just the two of us. We talked. It was like a couple days after the All-Star break. We talked about just how brutal the product became. Like Tyrese Halliburton on the Young Men in 3 podcast had Obama on, and that was one of the things that he wanted to talk about. It was like just how brutal the All-Star game is, and it's mainly just because they have nothing to incentivize it, and they make too much money to make it an incentive. Good. What was it?
It shouldn't have to.
I think I agree with the fact that they don't want to get hurt, but like they made a ton of money in 2002 standards in 2002, and they still went balls to the wall. Like, those guys were competitive, and it was a fun watch. And you can be competitive. Like there's a middle ground here, right? Like you don't need to throw yourself all over the place, but you also get in front of a guy, like play a little defense, have some pride.
They play pickup with each other in the summertime. Like it's not like it's not like they just play during it's not like they like just lift weights over the summer. Like they play basketball during the summertime and they work hard at it. Do that during the All-Star game. Like when asking too much, but Silver's done a couple things. He did the team captains things, which was cool for a couple of years. I wish they didn't get rid of that because I still thought that was cool, even though like some people disagree with me there. But went back to East West after Kobe tragically passed away. They did I always forget what that thing's called. Where like it's just like best 200 over. What was that?
The target score.
Target score, yeah. Like that was pretty cool the first year when it was a close game. Like people was like, "Oh, that's gonna be that's an amazing thing." But then when a game is a blowout, it's like talk about ratings. Like people they're gonna see a team is up 55 to 27. They're gonna be like, "Okay, no, screw this. I'm not." Like you also you get rid of like any type of like chance at a comeback because like we see 20-point comebacks all the time. Like you guys, I just over exaggerate that. If a score is like 60 to 40, like the game's over. Like it's not gonna happen.
I think honestly, and this is I don't know if I'm jumping ahead or I don't know if anybody off, but like I like the 4 teams of 8 better than the target score. I think it's new and it could be a flop, it could be not. But like you said, Chris, Adam Silver is addicted to fixing problems, in a weird way. He's like the most useless 6'3" guy since 2016 Steph Curry. It's like it's just weird. I think I don't know how to fix it because at the end of the day, it comes down to telling these 24 men who make so much money to play a children's game, to give a damn about this, right? Because there's nothing else you can really do. It's like an unfixable problem in a sense, and they're trying to just throwing shit at the wall here, but.
Doesn't hockey do the 4 teams? They do like the divisions, right?
Hockey's, game? Yeah, hockey's cool. They have like the 3-on-3 kind of thing there that they do. I went to the All-Star game or All-Star weekend in Florida a couple years back, and they did a really good job. I mean, like I think like it's funny because I'm like a very casual hockey fan, as you guys know. And I went there with my friend whose brother works for the NHL. And we got like good seats. It was fun. We went to the All-Star game. We went to All-Star weekend. It was a lot of fun. And I walked away saying, "Oh, this was awesome. Like, this is really great." And then all like the true hockey fans were like, "This sucks. I can't believe they're doing it like this." And I just imagine me bringing like, somebody who doesn't watch the NBA, they'd probably come to like All-Star weekend and be like, "Oh, all those threes and those dunks were cool." I'm like, "This is bullshit." Like I guess it's like, it's one of those things where you probably appreciate it a little more if you're not like so involved, but if you're so involved as a fan, you kind of feel like, and I do think that like you're owed more, right? Like these are the 24 best players in the league. You feel like as a fan that you're owed like something great here, something exciting to watch. But yeah, I guess it's all it's all perception, I guess. But
yeah, Kevin Durant was asked about the new format, and he's like, "Oh, we should just go back to East-West." There's a reason why we don't do East-West anymore. It's because you guys don't try. Like Adam Silver can do whatever he wants. He can do target score. He can do team captains. He can do whatever. if it was East versus West and the teams tried both, like all the guys were not like you said, you don't have to go balls to the wall, just like guard somebody, like play, pick up, style, speed. That would be the best All-Star game in decades if you just tried a little bit. That's all. It's really on the players. And people are like, oh, you should give them money, incentivize them. They get paid millions and millions of dollars. Just play a damn All-Star game. Like, take pride. You were selected as one of the top 24 players. Or is it top 30? Is it 15 spots? Or is it 12?
12. Yeah.
It's 12. So top 24 players in the league. Take pride in that. Like, the fans vote on you. Like, I don't know. I think it's a pride and effort thing, really.
That's what it is for the most part. And I just want to specify for everyone. Yes, so it is. It's yes. So basically, what the 8-team format is, it's going to be. So the 24 All-Stars. So it's going to be split up into 8s. I don't know how the NBA released them in. I didn't look at it though because I was too busy. But then it's going to be the champion or whoever won the NBA Rising Stars the night before. So which. I don't know how I feel about that because like it is pretty cool to show off like the young talent in the game, but that's that's always a cool thing to do. Which this is like back to like a nostalgia thing. I thought it was so cool when it was just the rookies versus the sophomores. And now they do that. But
like World versus USA now, right?
Yeah. Which fine, but but. I don't know. Yeah, like I always thought rookie sophomore was cool, but they got rid of it for a reason though. Like I'm not a marketing guy, so.
Yeah, but here's my question for you guys. Maybe it is a nostalgia thing, like you said, Chris. But like let's rewind to 2011. I was 14, 15. Matt, you were 10, 11. Chris, you were 12, 13. However, wherever it fell. Like, don't you? Maybe it's like you view things in a different lens when you're like older and you expect a little more. But like, don't you remember like not only the All-Star game, dunk contest, 3-point shootout, even rookie sophomore game, and then the All-Star game? Don't you remember like going to lunch on Monday and sitting at the lunch table and like, just like talking about it with your friends like it was the coolest thing ever? Like, I remember it being so cool and so good. And not for nothing, they can change certain things about, rookie, sophomore, the All-Star game format, whatever. The dunk contest and the dunk contest especially has not changed. It's the same. So it poses the question, is it the players? Like, is it these guys? Like, which, again, I'm going to go on like a little tangent here, but like, they finally got a superstar to do the dunk contest in Jaylen Brown. And like, people like clown him for it, because everyone loves to like, the bigger the name, the more people that are going to like clown them, and I know Jaylen Brown didn't really put on like a show at the dunk contest, but like, and again, we're biased Celtics fans, but like he didn't get enough credit for that. Like, he's trying to make like prominent players like give a damn about this All-Star weekend. And like, he deserves more credit for that. Because I think like we loved, and everyone always used to talk about how awesome the NBA All-Star Weekend was because it was so much fun. And now nobody seems to care about it. And it shows. Like, the product is bad. And I don't know. I think I really do think it comes down to the players.
Yeah. Sorry, Chris. I keep cutting you off today, but no. I remember you said 2011 dunk contest. I remember we watched it in Uncle Jimmy's kitchen. We watched Blake Griffin jump over the Kia right before we left. Like,
that's right.
That was awesome. And
so cool.
Now, I don't care at all about the dunk contest. I don't care at all about the All-Star game. I like don't watch the All-Star game anymore. Like, I'll turn it on and I'll be like, this is why I didn't watch the first half, and I'll turn it off. It's horrible. The product is horrible.
I don't even bet on it anymore.
I actually one of the very underrated things about All-Star Weekend, I don't think they do it anymore, but actually, John, I remember Matt, you were probably there as well, but we were watching Horse in Graham and Pop's room upstairs. Actually, it was Rondo was a Kevin Durant. It was like Rondo and like two other guys. Rondo ended up coming in seconds. It was just like a very cool thing to see. And then later that night, Paul Pierce won the 3-point contest, and I didn't watch it, but remember waking up like the next morning watching it and just going absolutely ballistic in the back family room when he won. So just again, nostalgia thing, which I'm sure kids like that were our age at the time watch it and like have like a similar reaction. Which that's another thing. Like it'll be very interesting to see. They did Steph versus Sabrina last year. Yeah, maybe they'll do the same thing this year of like Dame versus Caitlin Clark, which I was going to make an inclusive joke there with Caitlin Clark, but
I like the Steph versus Sabrina thing. Like,
me too, 100%. Yeah,
yeah, like that's like one of like the rare NBA moments that are like, yeah, okay, that's cool, like. But I don't know.
Why don't they do like a one-on-one thing? Like you mentioned the horse thing, Chris. Like I feel like that would be so cool, and I feel like guys would kind of take pride in that.
Mm-hmm.
Like be like the one-on-one, like best ISO player, best one-on-one player in the league. Like do something like that. I don't know.
Yeah, I think we touched on everything about the All-Star Week, but so this is off topic, or like not really off topic, but like off topic from the agenda and everything. But I'm sure you guys remember the what do you call it, the formula that I did last year for like picking my All-Star team that I followed, but not really. So it was basically just combining all the advanced stats and points per game to see like who I would pick for the for the All-Star team. So I kept on tracking it, but like I updated it today, and so the two So for the East, for my starters, I got Brunson and Dame as my two guards, and then Giannis, Cat, and Tatum, which is accurate, I think. I think if you asked me today who would my five starters be, it would be those five guys. Mainly because my next two guys for the guards would be LaMelo Ball, who would be starting if he weren't get injured, and Derek White actually would be my second guard. With the three forwards, this is where I start to not like it as much. I'm like, I got Franz Wagner, Jimmy Butler, and Nikola Vucevic. So I'm like, so it's like one of those things where I'm like, and then you have the two wild cards. So for the two wild cards, we have one Driscoll favorites and one Driscoll least favorites. I'll let you guys tell me which one is which.
By the way, before I guess, Vucevic is having a hell of a season. He actually he legitimately is probably gonna make the All-Star game. You said somebody we hate and somebody we like.
Yes.
In the East or the West? Sorry, I missed that.
This is all the East, John.
Right, that's what I thought. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say the one we like is Tyrese Maxey.
Oh no.
No.
He's not as good as Tyrese Maxey.
Neither
Neither of these guys are going to make the All-Star game, by the way. Just okay. I just want to clarify that.
Is one Peyton Pritchard?
One is Peyton Pritchard.
Nice.
It is Peyton Pritchard. And I don't want to go into the guessing game with the least favorite, but it's Josh Hart is the other one actually.
Oh, Josh Hart's having a really good year.
He's not going to make the All-Star game though.
Also, he tweeted about the Mets being a little brother yesterday because
that guy. Yeah,
the signing room wasn't as cool. Yeah. I'm happy. Yankees have a better signing room. That's way more important than having a 26-year-old generational hitter entering his prime.
Yeah. I told you about the guy at work today. That told me the Yankees were better off without him because they signed just a bunch of guys with that have less injury replacement than him. So
by the way, Josh Hart is from Maryland. Like he was born in Maryland. So like what you just picked the Yankees.
Yeah.
Sorry, I don't really give a shit about your opinion on a baseball team.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And then for the West was a little more accurate. Not really actually. It was so starters was accurate. It was SGA and Luka with the two, which the whole like Luka potentially losing the All-Star game thing was kind of short-lived. So that was very upsetting. Then the three front court guys, Jokic, AD, and Sabonis actually. So Jokic and AD are going to start. Sabonis isn't though. Which actually I don't know how the starters thing is going to work actually, but they're going to select. They're selecting it the right way, but I don't know how that's actually going to work with the whole thing. And then the two guards we got for the bench now, we got Kyrie and Curry. So Kyrie's been awesome this year. He'll end up getting on. And then the three forwards off the bench, I think all three of these guys deserve it. Şengün, J-Dub, and Wemby. So I think whether it be as like the main guys off the bench or the last two guys off the bench, The last two guys off the bench is where it gets interesting. One of them I think deserves it. The other one not so much. I'll tell you the one that deserves it is one of the best players on one of the better teams in the West.
Did you say Sengun already or no?
That's Sengun, yeah.
Okay. One of the best players on the. Can you go quickly do the guards again?
Ja? Did you say Ja?
It's not Ja.
Is it on the Grizzlies?
Yes.
Is it Desmond Bane? Desmond
No,
Bane was
it's-
hurt this year, I thought.
Yeah, he's been hurt. Yeah, he was hurt. Yeah, no, it's Jaren Jackson Jr.
Is it
wow.
Marcus Smart?
Yeah. I was thinking about saying Marcus Smart as a joke, but and the other one is Daniel Gafford, actually.
Wow.
Yeah, isn't that interesting? And then with
I like Daniel Gafford, though.
yeah, and then I'll tell you the East guys that were like just shortly after Josh Hart, who was the guy with the most, was Mo Wagner, not Franz Wagner, Mo Wagner, Jared Allen, my guy, Karis LeVert, TJ McConnell. Yeah, see, like once you get deeper into the stats, that's when you realize it's garbage. TJ McConnell, Cam Thomas, Jaylen Brown, RJ Barrett, Cade Cunningham, Tyler Hero, and Evan Mobley. So actually, the last couple guys are Mobley, Cade, and Jalen, and I guess even Tyler Hero at this point. Yeah, like all those guys could make the All-Star game, but the other ones not so much.
Guys are having good years. Like everyone you're saying, I'm like, damn, they're having a good year. They're having a good year.
Yeah. And then for the West,
I don't know how he's doing.
yeah. And then for the West, like the guys with the most points after that were Devin Booker, Anthony Edwards. He might not make it. Actually, that's crazy.
And
I don't think he might not make it.
I think with the fan vote, definitely he'll make it.
The fan vote's only the starters. He's not going to get more votes than Shea and Luka.
Okay, but
you don't think Ant's going to make it?
Ant's stats right now.
I'm pulling it up.
They're not as good as Kyrie. Yeah, he's going to make it over stuff. Kyrie and Steph for the other two guards.
26, 5.4, and 3.8.
3.8 isn't that impressive, and neither is 5.4.
You think Steph
4 assists and 26 points is impressive, Chris?
It is impressive.
He's taking 10 threes a game and shooting 42.4% from three.
It's pretty impressive. Yeah.
He's definitely.
Yeah, but honestly, like that makes it less impressive.
What?
You're taking that many threes, shooting 42% from three, and you can't average 30? Like, am I crazy?
No, you're not.
He's taking 20 shots a game and he's shooting 45% from the field and 42.4 from three.
That's not impressive to me.
Come
Not a
on,
lot.
guys. Are you kidding me?
20 shots a game, you're averaging 26?
Yes.
What's his
That's
true?
not good.
What's his true shooting, Matt?
I don't know. What website would you? I'm going to look it up. Anthony.
You on Basketball Reference or are you on?
No, okay. So I'm wrong. That's good, but that's not like.
He has a true shooting of 59.1% this year.
Oh, that's very good, actually. All right.
You take 20 shots a game, you're averaging 26.
Yeah.
Okay. All
I
right.
think
So
if you take 20 shots a game, you should be averaging closer to 30.
that's fair.
26 is pretty close to 30.
Yeah. Okay.
No, it's not.
It's 2 buckets.
4 points a game is a lot of points.
Yeah, it is a lot, but once you're up to 26.
Okay. All right. Okay. Yeah, but to revisit this, yeah. So he's not making it over SJ and Luka. The two of them are going to start. And yeah, they're going to put Curry there no matter what. And yeah, Ant's better than Kyrie, but I don't know who's been better. Kyrie's been pretty damn good this year too. So I don't know. But
by the way, Chris, Tatum took 19 shots a game last year.
Yeah,
19.3, and he averaged 27.
Doesn't sound like 20. Oh, so that's better. Yeah.
So, yeah, it is better, slightly.
Better.
Okay.
Slightly.
So okay. But before we went on our side tangent there,
but Ant has better numbers than Kyrie.
does he?
Yeah, Kyrie's only barely averaging 24.
Okay. Well, his impact. Yeah, it's the impact numbers that are there. That's why. And the Mavs are winning. So yeah.
That's the biggest thing, Chris. Good take.
Yeah. So yeah. Anyway, the honorable mention. So Devin Booker, Anthony Edwards, De'Aaron Fox, Rudy Gobert. You guys realize that I was missing a name there? Neither of you corrected me. I was missing a name in the Western Conference.
No, I've been checking for a rat in my apartment when we were going through that. So,
who are you missing?
Basketball. Just who do you think of when you think of basketball?
LeBron
LeBron James did not fight the criteria in this formula, which shows that the formula is kind of garbage, but it also shows that LeBron isn't as impressive this year.
Is he going to start this year?
Yes, he's going to get the most votes. So yes, he will start until he retires. Yeah. He's better than Kobe was at this point in his career. Kobe already retired at this point in his career, but like he's better than Kobe was the last 3 years of his career. But he's going to get the Kobe treatment. Yeah, he's going to get the Kobe treatment of starting every year because of the fan vote.
I mean, like, as he should. Like,
yeah, it's not like he's having like an awful year, you know.
And as we've mentioned before, nobody seems to give a shit about the All-Star game. So.
That's true.
So
I care about All-Star selections though, and I care about
the second best player of all time, his flowers. Okay?
Yes.
Go right ahead.
Yeah. Okay. So we have 5 minutes left in the show. So Yes. So I mentioned last week that we're doing mostly basketball. We will squeeze in a little bit of baseball now though, because I guess that's what we're turning into, which is great. So I'm currently on CBS. I'm scrolling through my phone on CBS Sports free agent tracker. So Juan Soto signed with the New York Mets. Corbin Burns is the second biggest name in free agency. I haven't seen anything from him in weeks. Like I think the last update I saw him was a couple of days before the Soto signing, and it's like the Yankees met with him, but they've already signed Fried since then. Who is he signing with? Is it going to be the Giants, or is it going to be is it going to be someone else? What do you guys think?
I think the Giants makes a lot of sense. I think they're going to spend a lot of money on him, especially after Snell left.
Spends a lot of money on Adames though, so I don't know.
Yeah, but they're always. I feel like they're always like willing to spend a lot of money.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm gonna say the Giants.
Okay, yeah, I don't know if the Orioles are interested either in bringing him back, but we'll see.
I really like Corbin Burns as a pitcher. I just don't really like him for like 7 years. No. You know, I think that's or 7 or 8 years.
I don't like any pitcher. I don't like any pitcher for 7 years. Like, they could be 20. Yeah, like they could be 23 years old. Yeah,
it's tough.
If they're 23 years old, I would like them for 7 years.
Yeah, but like, is he a Boris guy?
I don't know.
Ooh.
Like, if he is, I'm just saying, like, if the market for a 7-year, 8-year deal that they want dries up, do they come back to the Mets and say, just give us a high AAV over 3 years? And Steve Cohen says, okay, I make $50 million in a weekend.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
If
I were a baseball creator, I would give a take right now to piss so many people off. I would say that the pitchers are the running backs of the NFL. It is never worth paying those guys. I'm kidding, but I'm saying if
it's a bad take, Chris.
Think about it. Think about all the contracts the pitchers haven't worked out in the end. Max Scherzer, Justin Verlander. I'm only mentioning the Mets pitchers because those are the only 200.
The difference is that like pitchers impact a game. Running backs don't. That's why you don't pay running backs.
Yes, correct. I thought about this thing for 2 seconds.
When the Phillies paid Zach Wheeler, that was a horrible contract for them, right?
All right. Well, yeah. All right.
Jacob DeGrom.
We've got 3 minutes left, right?
Okay. Yes, we do. Yeah.
Let's talk about the last 3 guys.
Okay. Where's Pete Alonso going?
The Mets.
He's going to the Mets. I think so too. I think it's gonna be like February, but we'll see.
I want Pete Alonso back on the Mets. I don't know where he's gonna go. I think, honestly, you didn't put Walker on this agenda here, Chris. I think Walker and Alonso go to both New York teams.
Okay.
And would you take Pete for 6 or Walker for 3?
Pete for 6. I think Christian Walker is becoming a little overrated. He had a great year last year, but
Pete for 6, but I don't want to pay Pete Alonso for 6 years. I think 5 is the max I would go.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Clearly not. If I just said Pete.
They got choices to make. There's still so many people. There's still so many good players on the market. Mm-hmm. Which brings us to, I guess we'll go pitcher, third base right now, Chris. Right?
Sure. Yeah.
I'll say it first. I don't want Alex Bregman.
Me neither.
I don't want him. He's asking for 6-7 years. The Mets have a third baseman right now. Vientos was I'll say it. He was a good defensive third baseman last year. He wasn't bad. He wasn't good. He wasn't great, but he was serviceable. Third base is a tough position to play. They have
4 like solid third, like possible third basemen, I should say. Like I don't mean to be a prospect hugger, but Beatty, Vientos, Mauricio, even Acuna, if they want to put someone else in second, they have third baseman options. Okay, and then we'll go.
You know what? You're going to bring in a 31-year-old Alex Bregman to hit 260 this year?
Yeah, come on. Yeah. And then the last two guys, Sean Manaea and Jack Flaherty. I think Manaea is going back to the Mets and Flaherty is going back to the Dodgers, even though
back Sean Manaea.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Give him his fourth year.
Yep.
Give him his fourth year.
Yep.
Yeah, I agree. I have no idea where Flaherty's going to end up. I don't know if the Dodgers want to pay him.
We'll see. Yeah. All right. Cool. All right. Anyway, great show, John Matt. Thanks for coming on. This has been another episode of the All American Hoops podcast. Give a follow to all of us on all social media platforms. Stay tuned for the Sports Fluence and Fluent and Chill. And I hope everyone has a great night.
Oh, Canada.
Put on a suit, drink water, don't drink and drive. Hey, man, call your mother.
It means nothing. It means nothing.
No, they lying to you. It's about the money.
Now you're more fluent.